turn that and that. And nice. All right, cool. So we've got everything up and running. We're going to be running a one-shot tonight called the 2020 Crashies using the Foundry VTT, hosts of The-Forge VTT. I didn't think it would turn out as cool as it did, but man, it's pretty cool with the videos and the animations and the lights and everything. We got the Opera House from the Skull and Shackles has been restored after that terrible fire. No one's sure who started it, but that's not important. Insurance money came in and it's back to normal. The audience is packed with some of the greatest and foulest of heroes and villains from the 2020 year of Dungeons and Dragons. So, with me tonight, emceeing this event is going to be Cadenex, reprising the role of Pharos, the Edgelord. Yeah. So, I'm going to turn the mic over to you, and you can lead us through this. I will jump in with commentary as needed.
All right, welcome everyone to the 2020 Crashies. You know, you play D&D, you get awards. Sometimes you live through the games, and sometimes you get rewarded. Sometimes your soul gets bound to hell because you're a warlock. Not saying that happens to me at all.
Never.
But today we're going to be awarding some of the finest role players, tacticians, fights, tearjerkers, and laughs that this year's had to offer in this weird in your fleshy world. It was the traumatic year of 2020. So to get things started, the categories will be best role-playing scene. Nominations for that were the Song of Storms from Odyssey, the Duchess Ball from the Moon Game of Saltmarsh, and the Briar Rose Theater from Skull and Shackles.
All right, so let me talk about each of these before we announce the winner of this category. There were some pretty amazing roleplay scenes over the last year. These three were the ones that were nominated and voted on. The Briar Rose Theater scene from Skull and Shackles, the Pirates of Skull and Shackles decided that the best way they could infiltrate a slaver colony and take it down was not by starting a rebellion or by planning an assassination. It was by disguising themselves as traveling theater troupe. So they peddled their lie and managed to get a venue and put on a elaborate play for the local villain and impressed him so much that they were invited back to his house for a follow-up performance where things got a little insane. The Duchess's Ball, there was a succubus who had infiltrated the leadership of the city of Daggerford and was up to no good. The heroes of the Saltmarsh Moon game were directly connected with this woman and went up against her. They, too, decided that diplomacy was better than outright combat and attended a fancy ball at her estate, which led to a lot of interesting roleplay, including a whalehound shitting on a beautiful parquet floor and ruining dinner. It was a memorable occasion. In the Odyssey of the Dragonlords game, there was a terrible storm destroying the largest city on the mainland, and the heroes were asked to stop it. The solution they came up with was to perform a beautiful concert to appease the god of storms and hopefully end the terrible weather patterns. So, in the end, Kadex, which scene was voted best roleplay of 2020?
All right, gotta get the envelope open.
Okay. Nice envelope sounds. Good stuff.
So it seems that the Song of Storms from Odyssey of the Dragon Lords has won best roleplay segment. I can't track the video over.
Oh, okay. I'll grab the video. Don't worry. Wait, maybe I could grab the video. Oh, you know what? This kind of hinged on you being able to grab the video. Give me a second. All right. It's okay. It's our first year. It's fine. No judgment. Let's see. Best crit, best roleplay scene. Here we go. We'll just swap out what's on the screen right now. Blah blam. Oh man, so professional.
Oh, I'm standing
lovely. It's okay. It's okay. It's a big screen. You'll be fine. All right. So, congratulations to the players of Odyssey of the Dragon Lords on Monday nights. Your guys' scene was voted the best roleplay segment of 2020 across all of our games. So, congratulations on that. It was a beautiful scene and one of the best sessions of the whole year, in my opinion. So, well earned. Well earned.
So if anyone wants to unmute themselves and accept the award.
Yeah, do we have anyone representing Odyssey of the Dragon Lords Monday nights that would like to say a few words about the scene? Anybody? Just unmute your mic and jump in here. Hello? Anybody? No?
No, he's here. He's breaking up.
Oh, you're coming through real, choppy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Thank you.
Oh, here, I'll bring you up. I'll bring you up on the stage so you can talk. Oh man, this is like the best dollhouse experience of my life. There she is. All right.
I'm gonna hold my hand out for Anna.
Oh dang. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
And I guess as we pass by, we'll grab Kyra too.
Oh man. The pit boss down there is not okay with bards being dragged out, but they'll allow it. They'll allow it. All right. So say your words.
Don't really have much to say. We just did what we needed to do to save Mitros, I suppose.
You suppose. How humble.
Mm-hmm.
It's collaboration of everyone. I want to thank the people of Mitros for surviving. I want to thank Sidon for going away for a little bit.
It's fair. It's fair.
And shout outs to Queen Valis, who couldn't make it here tonight. She was a vital part of this performance as well.
All right. Well, so you've got your fabulous awards will be delivered to you after the show, but I like to say that you'll get a fancy Discord title and a bunch of other small knickknacks. All right. You can go now.
All right. You usher the ladies off the stage.
All right. How did I drag myself under the crowd?
And you start crowd surfing. Awesome. Also, person in chat who's wondering where Sibo is. He's like, "Where's Waldo?" He could be anywhere. Could be anywhere in the crowd. All right. Camera pans across the crowd. All right, back to the stage. I'll swap out the thing as you get started on the next announcement.
All right, next announcement is going to be best fight scene. So, not all scenes have to be role play. Sometimes you just got to roll the dice and hit people. So, sometimes it can be cool, sometimes it can be boring. But when everyone knows when the fight scenes get pretty hype, so the nominees are the Trog fight from the Odyssey game, Skull wrecking Sahaugen from the Saltmarsh Moon game. The Sea Lab from the Saltmarsh Sun game. Dropping a whale on a house from Skull and Shackles.
Okay.
And Bastion of Chaos from Hero Quest. So I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch a lot of these. But
don't worry. I will fill you in on what you missed out on. So.
All right.
The Trog fight in Odyssey. The heroes were up against literally an infinite number of troglodytes. They had to figure out a way to defuse the situation. Enemies were coming from all directions. NPCs were fighting for their lives. And ultimately, through bullshit sleep spells homebrewed by the adventure itself and incredible Pictionary skills by Anastasia, they were able to win the day. But it was a long, drawn-out, and tense battle that their Sunday cousins have recently survived as well. In Saltmarsh Moon, Skull, the Dragonborn Grappler Rogue, celebrating a recent victory. The group went out onto the seas with their ship to beat the shit out of Sahaugen. And that is what they did. Having Waterwalk cast upon him, Skull leapt onto the ocean itself, grabbed a shark, a giant shark, out of the water, and began to club the Sahaugen to death with it. It was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts.
Like when you say you need a motherfucker to beat a motherfucker.
Absolutely. The Sea Lab battle of Saltmarsh Sun. The party decided the best way to do the semi-underwater Sea Lab adventure was backwards. They swam down to the boss room, teleported through the glass steel windows, and began a long session and a half long battle against the entire fucking dungeon. There were elementals, there were dragons, there were kraken, there were spellcasters, wizrobes, hobgoblins, undead, and even a Merilith. The battle took place in the room, out of the room, at the bottom of the ocean. It was bananas. In Skull and Shackles, they disguised themselves as a theater troupe, and under that disguise tried to take out Calvin Candy, the head of the slaver colony. However, things did not go their way when they discovered that Calvin and his allies were powerful fiends from the lower planes. They were defeated, fed to a giant sarlacc. Hey, it's a weird campaign. When they finally escaped, rather than being digested over a course of 1,000 years, they came back for sweet vengeance. And there is no finer vengeance when you are a pirate than dropping a whale on someone's house. It was gruesome, and it was incredible. Finally, Hero Quest, the Bastion of Chaos, they were tasked with a unique mission, a timed boss run. 4 hours or less to go and defeat 4 of the strongest champions of Chaos. A non-stop 4-hour-long battle, the first ever run in Foundry on our server, wherein they only succeeded in defeating 2 of the 4 bosses, but the second boss they defeated, they actually kidnapped rather than just kill, which to me was a much more exciting way to handle it. They looked at the clock, saw they were almost out of time, and pretty much just gut punched the dude and dragged him out of the dungeon with them. So, as you have heard, all of these fight scenes were pretty amazing. Cadenex, who is the winner of Best Fight Scene for 2020?
Best fight scene. We have Whale on a House by Skull and Shackles. Congratulations.
All right, Whale on a House. Fantastic. I wish we had like a clapping sound effect. That would be really cool. Oh, there we go.
We have
beautiful.
12 people in chat.
You can definitely unmute to cheer if you want. We didn't. We don't have a full clip because there are some people out there that have trigger warnings against extreme gore. But I will tell you, it was one of the goriest scenes ever created in virtual tabletop. Complete with beating bloody hearts. It was crazy. Is there anybody here from Skull and Shackles that would like to take the stage and accept the award?
You hear some hopping up and down, and you hear a voice saying, "Oh, I'm here! I'm here!"
All right.
But you don't see anything because Kishara is only 2.5 feet tall.
All right, Kishara, you race up and take the stage. Anyone else wants to get up there with her?
Claximus is here.
Okay. Claximus, you extract yourself from your waifu harem and head up onto the stage.
Lift is here, and he's glad he was not the whale.
Okay, fair enough. Get Lift up on that stage.
Yeah, Django will go up as well.
Oh, man. All right. It's not even a Thursday. We've got all the pirates available.
Analura is here.
Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right. Take it away.
Well, I think the first thing we should do is thank Mitch for being the whale, and then apologize for bringing him back as an ooze twice in a row.
It's fair.
Yeah, Mitch number one. Mitch number one.
This award would not have been possible without him.
Let me see if Mitch is available. Hold on. There shouldn't be too many spoilers typing in the word Mitch, right? Okay, there we go. Mitch, who is actually no longer a human being or a Valorian, does come up onto the stage. He grab a hold of Claximus's hand, raise it in the air like you guys have just won something very important. He would cry, but his tear ducts are permanently melted, even though he has a new body. So.
Oh yeah, because this is right after Mitch got burned into the bunny suit.
Yep.
Another sacrifice. That's why Mitch is number one.
All right.
The best NPC.
Yeah. Mitch looks out at the crowd, confused but happy.
Unfortunately, the captain couldn't be here, so we'll be accepting the award on his behalf. I'm sure he'd have like some real inspirational words to say. Like, don't do drugs.
Is that really what? Yeah. Okay.
Winners don't do drugs, apparently.
Yeah. And always bang the princesses, because that's what real winners do.
That is true. I saw that at the end of an arcade game in like 1998, so I lived my life by that. The drugs message, not the princess thing. So, all right. Any other words? Else, you must evacuate the stage.
I think that's
initiative.
All right.
Thanks to Django too. I guess it was on his arc.
Oh, that's true. Django, anything to add based on your story arc?
Just that, Mitch, it's thank you. This wouldn't be possible without you. And I try to get the crowd going, Mitch.
Yeah, the crowd all begins to chant Mitch. You hear the weird tea kettle sound of his broken and melted tear ducts, trying to expel tears. It's a heartfelt moment. All right. Together, you carry Mitch with you back to the stands. All right. Let me clear this out. And Pharos, get ready for the next category.
All right. So, outside of fight scenes and roleplay scenes, there are scenes that tug at the heartstrings and make you feel feelings, like the opposite of the opposite of adrenaline. You know, they want to get you want to cuddle up like a good rom-com movie. You want to get the gelato, and you want to forget about how your warlock patron left you and wants to kill you. And so these are the best tearjerker moments, the ones you just want to curl up with a blanket and binge Netflix with. So we have Fafnir's End from Skull and Shackles. When I died in Saltmarsh Moon. The Flight of Orwell and the Acquisitions Incorporated game, and Shivika's Proposal in Skull and Shackles. So,
oh yeah,
wait.
Let's explore these just a little bit. So, in the earlier days of Skull and Shackles, when we still used the Nord Games Extreme critical hit cards, brave, magnanimous, and talkative roommate of Lift, Fafnir, was a victim of one of those infamous decapitation cards. Not wanting to burden the group with having to bring him back, and also having about 50 backup characters that he was eager to play, Fafnir's player decided that was it. The group spent a long time having a very heartfelt funeral for him. There was some really good roleplay. It's a long clip though, so we're not going to show it. But Cadendex put together all the clips from all these things into one montage that we'll post up later. But overall, it was a tearjerker. It was a tearjerker. The Death of Pharos. The Saltmarsh Moon game was powered, much like My Little Pony, by friendship. The fight that led to Pharos' death at the hands of his patron, the fell succubus of Daggerford, was a long, drawn-out, and incredibly stressful battle. It pushed the heroes past the limits that they had previously thought existed. Only the battle against the Shadow Dragon later in the campaign proved to be more intense than that. Pharos was the first casualty of that battle, and the main focus of the boss since he had betrayed her. His loss broke many hearts, but fortunately, thanks to good medical care, his soul was put neatly back in his body to delay the inevitable end of an eternity in hell. So, it's nice. Flight of the Orwell, Acquisitions Incorporated. Orwell, a Kenku, always wanted to fly. In our slapstick office comedy campaign, we tried very hard to get him up in the air. There was a scene involving kites and local authorities. Eventually, the bard Selesna came into possession of the greatest magical item a bard could ever have, an instrument of the bard, and cast magical flight upon him. The scene was actually very beautiful, and all of us got a little choked up for some reason. Peanut even painted a beautiful painting of the scene. It was a very emotional time. I was there for it as a player. It was good. Shivika's Proposal. Amongst the pirates of Skull and Shackles, Shivika, the Kroken assassin, is a cold-hearted murderess with no intention of ever falling in love with anyone until this dude in a hat came along, and over time managed to win her heart. Eventually, she asked him for his hand in marriage. It was a pretty big turning point for the character, and overall very happy and a little bit of a tearjerker moment. So, all right. Pharos, which scene was the best tearjerker moment of 2020?
Okay, best tearjerker moment is... those are so beautiful. Fafnir's End from Skull and Shackles.
All right, Fafnir's End from Skull and Shackles. Fafnir is actually here from Valhalla. Is Fafnir's player here to receive the reward? Otherwise, does anybody from Skull and Shackles want to take the stage on his behalf?
You see a blue tiefling slide out the back of the theater.
Oh man, I don't think I have Chicane. Not without his boss miniature. Let's see.
Lift. You should.
Oh yeah, there he is. All right, Chicade, you kind of bamf in there like Nightcrawler. Take it away.
Fafnir was one of the clues that I was closest to. Albeit I was only there for a very short amount of time before it became very apparent that the crew needed a more full-time healer. This was the incident that made that apparent.
I'd like to push Chicane out of the way.
Okay, yeah, you push Chicade out of the way. He falls into the crowd of bards. Yep.
Lift gets up there and accepts the trophy and says, I know Fafnir would want his one and only favorite roommate, Lift, to accept this trophy on his behalf. And if he was still with us today, I know he would insist on living with me, no matter where it is. Today and forever. Thank you, Fafnir.
Okay. As you say that, there are some people in the crowd that kind of wipe away some tears because they know that you and Fafnir were the best roommates, possibly of all time. All right.
I punched Chicane in the face. Been saving it.
You punch him in the face, and he rockets through the roof of the Opera House and disappears like a tiny star. Team Rocket blasting off again. All right. There is a soft golf clap as you take your seat again. All right. Go ahead and prep us for the next award.
Okay, so we all need a laugh, right? And so the next category is funniest moments, and it's all about the lulz. D&D is ostensibly a comedy game. We all know it. Everyone feels like they need to make jokes, and some of them are good, a lot of them are bad. But, however, the ones that are good is ones we're rewarding today. And sometimes they get crazy, and sometimes they're not even jokes. Sometimes they just you play a fever dream of a game in the Caves of Chaos, and stuff happens. But
yeah,
and sometimes you just roll really bad over and over and over again. And so the funniest moments of 2020, I'm going to nominate. The nominations are Illyria's Feeble Mind in the Saltmarsh Moon game, Master Chief in the Caves of Chaos, Jaden the Dinosaur in Caves of Chaos, and last but not least, a reference to Analura's Spicy Mom from Skull and Shackles.
Okay, yeah. Analura's Spicy Mom says yoo-hoo and waves up to you, Pharos.
Hello, ma'am.
All right, so let me jump in and explain what happened here. In Saltmarsh Moon, in that same fateful encounter where Pharos was killed in the battle against the succubus, there were some Hydraloths, Yogoloths from the River Styx. They have the ability to pretty much wipe out your brains. They landed such an attack on Illyria Payne, and she began to act like a primitive cave woman, calling upon all of her knowledge of the animal kingdoms as a Beastmaster Ranger. She proceeded to act like a bat, a snake, and all sorts of other adorable animals as her allies in the middle of battle tried to gather her up so that she would not get hurt. She rolled a series of unbeatable acrobatics checks that even the infamous grappler rogue Skull was unable to defeat. I think it went on for over 10 rounds of her hooting and screeching and gibbering as she rolled around on the ground. It was a very funny moment. Let's see. Caves of Chaos Master Chief. So at the twilight hour, when our minds began to truly break from the marathon, from the charity marathon, things were getting pretty insane. There was a battle of woke apes fighting against weresharks. Everybody was riding on dinosaurs that had fucking laser beams. There were sharks inside of giant oozes. It was really weird. And then, of course, there were pinball flippers everywhere.
Oh no!
Floppy flippers. Floppy flippers. In that fever dream encounter, we thought it can't get any weirder than this. And that's when the ceiling of the Caves of Chaos was busted open, and the Master Chief from Halo came down and began elbow smashing everyone around him, giving our heroes a chance to escape and raising a lot of money for charity in the process. It was beautiful. Shortly after that, one of those laser beam dinosaurs, who introduced himself as Jaden the dinosaur, joined the party. One of our marathonees passed out, and in order to fill his spot, we had someone from the audience donate and jump in to play as Jaden the motherfucking dinosaur. Things got even weirder after that, but honestly, not the weirdest Caves of Chaos of all time. I still have a soft spot in my heart for Jaden the dinosaur. The final nomination is Analura's Spicy Mom. Analura's mom is a spicy lady in an already spicy pirate game. And a comment offhandedly was made by Analura that we're not going to repeat on stream that was so funny that most of us had to mute our mics and step away from the computer. Some of us turned to religion, began to pray the rosary. Such was the comment that was made. So, all right, who, Pharos, had the funniest moment of 2020?
All right, funniest moment goes to the spicy mother, Analura. Get on up here and accept this award.
She's gonna spit out her drink.
Okay, yeah. Your mom rushes over, it grabs you by the hand, and begins to pull you up onto the stage.
She'll go up reluctantly, but she won't look at the crowd or her mother.
Your mother tells everybody, hello, this is my daughter, Analura. She's not married yet. Is anyone looking for a wife? Because she is single. She has no one in her life to love. Anyone? Just see me after the event. I will give you all her contact information. Yeah? Okay. You have anything to add, Analura?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, don't worry, the video's coming soon. Everyone will see how spicy his mom is. All
right. They usher you and your mother off of the stage. Pharos, go ahead and get us started for the next award.
All right. So, coming off of best fights, any good fight or any good roleplay has a good crit. And so, if you or a bad guy had any good crits, everyone gets excited about them, or unexcited if it's coming your way, about that coveted 20 rolling up on your dice and seeing the green go in the chat log. So, of all of 2020, a few crits stuck with us, and ones that are particularly memorable. They kind of they can make or break a session, and so these are the nominees for best crit. We have Evelyn preventing the Paradise Vale playtest party kill. You wouldn't want a party kill in the playtest game. That would be bad. We have She Who Hungers crits across dimensions, Saltmarsh Sun and Moon. Then we have A Mother's Love from Acquisitions Incorporated.
All right.
Those are the nominees.
Let me jump into these real quick. Playtester Evelyn in Paradise Vale not only helped playtest Foundry and the Paradise Vale setting, but also the Glyph rules that we use on Sundays and Wednesdays, and whenever Paradise Vale games happen. They found themselves in a pickle, smashed between two overpowered and possibly poorly designed gelatinous cubes. A TVK was all but inevitable, but because of the incredibly strange Glyph rules a low-level cleric is able to call out for divine intervention. She took the chance. She rolled the dice. And she nat 20'd that shit. The blinding light of Pelor shone down even in that dark dungeon, replenishing everyone's health, removing all their status effects, and giving them the energy and zeal they needed to survive. In Saltmarsh, Sun and Moon, both groups went up against an eldritch horror of kaiju proportions. Unscripted, dice out on the table, no hidden rolls. This monstrosity opened up both fights with a natural crits on an AoE smash. It was one of the most beautiful things I saw last year, to be honest. And finally, in Acquisitions Incorporated, I could tell you about this because it got changed out for the original. The final boss we fought was the monster of all monsters. A very Final Fantasy moment where a boss who wasn't really the boss was the boss and then turned into a giant monster that was all monsters. I should mention that this boss was also the son of our Warforged Paladin, and she demanded that he knock it off right now, young man, and delivered one of the beefiest Paladin crits of all time, ending his life and the campaign. Overall, 3 very solid critical hits. So, Pharos, who had the best crits of 2020?
Paris opens the envelope, shudders. She who hungers across dimensions. He tosses the envelope. The trash.
Okay, yeah. There's some nervous clapping. You see the massive kaiju that was lurking in the rafters begin to crawl towards the stage. She looks at everyone assembled and just lets out a horrible, keening scream. Everyone begins to bleed from the eyes, nose, mouth, and anus. The scream continues for some time before she is banished.
Let's get her out of here. It's enough of that.
All right.
She doesn't win any.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. Chamomile hands you her pocket tissues in case you need to mop up some of that blood. There's some of that blood there. Got a little coming out of your ear holes. So. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. Okay, now let's get that out of the way. That's Fumble. So 20s are good, but 1s are even better. They're like the emo version of 20s. So things don't go according to plan. Things go south. And those are the moments when you realize when you're really alive is when you roll the 1 and the fear in your belly starts to well up. You think you're gonna barf. And the proverbial shit hitting the fan. That's the good stuff right there. And so, the best fumbles, the nominations are Lars and the Storm King's Thunder and the Unnecessary Deaths. The Death of Toothless in Saltmarsh Moon, and He Did It All for the Cookie, Skull and Shackles.
All right, so let's dig into these fumbles a little bit deeper. So, Larionis, an elven noble in the Storm King's Thunder game, has what some people would call a gambling addiction. This applies both in-game and out-of-game. Whenever given the opportunity to roll for something, he would take it. And this character was so notoriously unlucky that even with elven accuracy and reliable talent, he still managed to get caught trying to steal an airship. It was real bad. The worst fumble of his career was probably when the party was saved narratively from a very dangerous battle against a black dragon, and a fortress full of orcs. The DM offered them a chance to simply narratively explain how they escaped, or they could roll a death save. Only one player rolled a death save. It was Larionis. He got a nat 1, and he died. Yeah. That's what happened.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah. In Saltmarsh Moon, there was an adorable, precocious lizard folk named Toothless. He loved all the animals and peoples of the world. When his group encountered a deadly kraken, he knew what he had to do. He jumped off the boat and swam up to the kraken and tickled it on its chin. It ate him and he died.
It's funny. I get a kick out of these.
Finally, in Skull and Shackles, resident furry gunslinger, swashbuckler, and recently multi-class level 1 rogue, Django, fell love at first sight for the former assassin Shivaka of the Kroken. He wooed her after many attempts and was given the opportunity to consummate his love, but given direct instructions that as a poison dart frog woman, there was a good chance he would die. Love is blind, and he went for it. When asked to roll a death saving throw, he got a nat 1, and he fucking died. All right.
That's all right.
So Pharos, who had the best fumble of 2020?
All right. So best fumble goes to Django for he did it all for the cookie in Skull and Shackles. Okay. Well, Skull and Shackles wins up here.
All right. Django, would you like to come up and say a few words?
Yeah.
Come on. I grab Shivaka, like, come on. They're giving us an award. Come on, Garland, let's get up there.
They're giving us an award for me killing you with sex. I don't know if this is really something we should celebrate. Okay. All right, you guys are up on the stage. Everyone is kind of murmuring and waiting to see what you have to say.
You know, love will take you to all sorts of interesting places, especially when you're drunk and recently freed from slavery. But if it weren't for that, well, we wouldn't be where we are today with you and me and good old boy Jimmy finally getting to tie the knot together. So thank you, Miss Shivaka, and thank you, everyone, for this award.
All right, yeah. There's a smattering of applause, a few catcalls and whistles as you guys return arm in arm to your seat.
Sounds fun. Don't roll any more ones, or do. Might be anything.
All right, take us to our next category.
Our next category, it's the waifus. So y'all wanted it, and y'all get them. We have an assortment of various ladylike and lady-presenting characters across all of the games, and they are all excellent waifu material. But however, we can only have one winner. And so, the nominees are Analura from Skull and Shackle, Beatrix Jenkins from A Safe Place, and Anastasia from Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Three great waifus, but only one can win.
There's Anastasia. She's hiding in the crowd. All right. What can I say? Analura has been pirating for a while now. I remember when she first started, she didn't even have original character art. Now she has 4,000 unique miniatures that she can switch between based on really any factors at all. For a long time, she held the hearts of everyone on the crew, till they realized that the icy fortress of her heart was not for show. She really has no fucking interest in anything except being an artificer. Beatrix Jenkins, the spicy grandma, and I believe, wife of the famous Leroy Jenkins, now deceased, took her grandson on a grand adventure and met Santa Claus while she was doing it. The flirtatious exchanges between Santa Claus and this lovely grandmother keep me up at night and haunt my dreams. And finally, from the lands of Thylea, often soft-spoken, but never soft-hearted. The heart of the chosen of the Oracle, Anastasia, is a siren who has lost everything, but still manages to be there to support her allies in and out of combat. All right, so Pharos. We will not announce the winner until we have done the next category, husbandos.
Oh, okay. Sure,
all right.
Both on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So our male and male presenting PCs and NPCs across all the games, they're great. They're amazing because I'm among them. We have Jimmy from Skull and Shackles. Barrows and Luck of the Draw from Saltmarsh Moon. Thugroll from Skull and Shackles.
Oh man, he's sorry he's late. There we go. Jimmy, there we go.
And Squish from Hero Quest. All great husbandos, but there can only be one winner. And I hope it's me. I hope I'm not losing to it.
It's also fascinating that you're on stage and in the audience at the same time. That's some advanced magic right there. Let's see. And where is he? There he is. Squish had to leave his 42 children and innumerable wives and husbands behind in the Northlands to attend this event. They could not find a babysitter for 42 children. All right. Yeah. Are these the candidates then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Best husbando. All right. Jimmy from Skull and Shackles. I mean, just look at the character art there. I think that says it all. When Jimmy was discovered inside the Sarlacc, I feel like most of the group began to question and explore the deepest parts of their sexuality. Jimmy immediately became the number one husbando of Skull and Shackles, and perhaps after tonight's award ceremony, the whole server? I don't know. A Sweet Roll, also known as Thug Roll, was an adorable mousekin whose job was to train Pokemans on the pirate ship. However, he was slotted onto the B team. Oh, thank you. He was slotted onto the B team and wound up in prison for arson and terrorism. His long time in prison, at least 2 or 3 days, hardened him into a outright 1990s West Coast gangsta G. He will shank a bitch if he has to. Oof. Squish from Hero Quest can only enter a rage when his large baby bottle nipples have been tweaked. In order to prevent unnecessary raging, he wears nipple caps harvested from the fell demon Varag in his first adventure. Over the course of 14 quests, he was a father, a lover, a lockpick, and many other roles. Often, he was the heart of the team when things were at their most darkest and terrifying. And finally, a shared nomination between Luck of the Draw and Pharos of Saltmarsh Moon. These two edgelords eventually, after an entire campaign of dancing around it, were able to find a small bit of love and happiness, not just with each other, but also with their adopted son, this little baby dragon here, that they share custody with this other big dude over here. So, if you're looking for a good storyline, you could have My Three Dads, starring Evenfang. And
It's like 3.5 minutes.
yeah. All right. So, first, who was the waifu of 2020?
All right. Best waifu is Anastasia from Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. Congratulations.
All right. And who was the husbando of 2020?
Ferris opens the envelope. I'll think fucking. It was me in Luck of the Draw. I didn't rig this at all.
Oh man! Before you could read the envelope all the way from the crowd, you hear "Yeah, yes, yes!" And Sweet Roll runs up onto the stage to get his award. It's very awkward.
Get the hell out of here, kid.
I just want to thank everybody that was there for me when I was at my lowest point, and all the Pokemon on the boat, and everybody in prison that taught me how to be a real gangster G. I'm looking at you, sweetheart.
And he winks at Analura.
Get off the stage, kid. You didn't win shit.
What are you trying to say?
It's my award.
Wait, you said
mine.
Wait, so I didn't win?
No.
Am I just making it worse by saying all this stuff? Oh.
Yes. Get out. All right. Thanks. Get out. All right. Ferris pinches his brow. It's like, all right, that's done. All right.
Okay. Anastasia, are you available to come up on stage and accept your award?
Yes.
Okay.
I fly to the stage.
Alrighty. Okay.
Sorry.
Luck of the Draw. Banff's up there. All right. You guys have anything to say?
We couldn't have won this award without me, so I like to say thank you to everybody who supported me, and Luck of the Draw. He's great too, so. But that's all I got.
Anastasia gives a bow and says, "Thank you all. You were all very kind."
All right.
Yeah. Go great next to the other edgelord stuff we have in our house.
All right. Yeah. Luck of the Draw's like,
Yeah, it'll go great next to our vicious weapon collection and swords of life stealing.
You two are adorable.
Oh. No. No one asked you. No.
all right. Go ahead and get us ready for the next award, Pharos.
All right. So the next two awards are the Pinnacle Awards for the night. They're like kind of like the best actress, but since we're playing D&D, it's going to be best role player. So these next two awards are going to have actual prizes, not just like fancy digital ones that don't really mean anything.
Oh.
So for best role player, we like to talk about how people are willing to put their heart and souls into their characters and exuberate role playing for the rest of their group, be it through dramatic speeches, through great jokes, or through heart-wrenching backstory. So throughout 2020, we have 3 nominations for best role player. We have Thogram Fireforge from Saltmarsh Moon, Astraeus Raid from Odyssey of the Dragon Lord, and Pietro from Saltmarsh Sun.
Okay. Let me get them up on camera real quick. Where are you at, Pietro? Oh yeah, you're over with the there we go. Okay. All right. Oof. So, I am, as a dungeon master, extremely lucky to have so many fantastic role players in my groups. It is a common thing when DMs are all shooting the shit behind players' backs to complain about the Matt Mercer effect and how Matt Mercer sets this incredible standard, this bar that we're all trying desperately to meet, the expectations of players for us to be their Matt Mercer. But what we as DMs like to counter-argue behind the screen is, wouldn't it be nice if we had some Critical Role players? Like, where's our Liams, right? Where's our Sams? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's handed out cupcakes to witches in my game. Huge spoiler, sorry about that. But I can actually say, with full confidence, that I have such players. They constantly surprise me with their decisions, their plans, their reactions, and their role-playing. I felt like all three of these were fantastic nominations. Let's talk about him real quick. Thogram Fireforge. This guy was every dwarf that you've ever wanted to adventure with, but somehow not like a stale dwarven trope. I actually thought maybe in real life Ness was married to a dwarf, because he really, in every session, like, never broke character ever. There was no, like, OOC joking. All the joking was done in character voice. Decisions were made early in his career that impacted him throughout the entire campaign. Constantly bringing callbacks from earlier in the campaign, and honestly leading by example. I think his strong roleplay sort of kept everyone else striving for excellent roleplay also. So, very, very appreciated. Astreus Rade, first among the Dragon Lords in his reality of Thylea, was a late addition to the campaign after we lost sweet Alexi to real-life job crap. He was gracious enough to step into the 6th spot of the group, and he chose an epic path that did require a lot of role-playing, as it was heavily tied to the lore and the history and the story of the game. I knew that he would do a good job, but I had no idea he would do such an excellent job over and over and over again. His speeches to the many NPCs of the world have become a little bit of an inside joke amongst the group, but also something that I think all of us look forward to each and every time. He has an eloquent way of staying in character and building the lore through his roleplay. So, much appreciated. And Pietro De La Vega from Shackles. Oh, I Steve Harvey'd it. I tried so hard not to. Oh, no. From Saltmarsh Sun. Also a latecomer to the campaign. He was rescued from a cultist that he had been working for that crossed too many lines for him to continue to follow. Little did he know that his rescuers would go on to become way, way, way worse villains than the ones he was rescued from. In a campaign of villains, Pietro managed to walk the line that I think every role player wants to walk, which is the conflicted villain. He was there. he was team villain. He would do the villainous things that were needed to be done. But unlike the other characters who I think sort of not only accepted it but embraced it, he was a man constantly at odds with his own moral code, his history, and his future. And that came out in his roleplay constantly, and added a very nice foil to some of the other characters who were all in for the evil and the power that they could gain from it. So, yeah, all three fantastic role players, fantastic characters. So, Pharos, who was the 2020 best role player on the server?
All right. This is a really great moment. I'm kind of sad that it's going to be the last 2020 role-playing award that I get to give out, and the first one, but I'm also not in this one, so it's kind of a bummer. But I have the award. It goes to Thogram Fireforge from Saltmarsh Moon.
Very nice, very nice. Do we have Thogram or someone Thogram adjacent in chat that wants to say a few words?
I really like to start thanking, really all of my friends that were part of the whole adventure. I mean, I couldn't have done it without them. I'd like to thank the love of my life, Doris from accounting. Without her, I wouldn't be here today either. Excuse me a second.
And he's going to reach inside his pants and open it up, his pants of the Merchant Princess, and walk inside and just slam a cup of Fireforge ale. And
all right, that's better. So while I'm up here, I just wanted to talk to everybody a second about Gond. I don't know if anyone here has ever met him or not, but it's saved me friend's life here. And I'm just going to pat Cadenex on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And he can save you too. Thanks.
You don't need the sermon. Take the award.
I'm glad I could be here. If you ever need me to accept another one, just let me know.
Oh, okay, I'll be sure of that. All right. So he shuffles him off stage. Like,
here's one for the Dragonborn hitting the floor, fellas.
There is a huzzah from the many Dragonborn who have hit the floor. I think it's a racial ability, because it's all Dragonborn in all games have hit the floor on the regular. So
Dragonborn are great mechanically.
Don't want to get one in.
All right.
Prime water in the balcony.
Oh yeah. You had your chance there, Thogram. Prime water. He's right up there in the box. You could have digged him one last time. Oh. Do you got one last one for him?
he's going to set down his popcorn. That's disgusting. He's going to be sure to leave a scathing review about his popcorn and just look up that and point to him as, I couldn't have done it without the real leader of the pack like yourself, just to keep us pups going. He's just going to wink at him.
All right. He winks back at you, though, either because this man is grabbing all over his wife, or because he's had his fill of dog puns. You're not sure, but his forehead vein looks like it's about to rupture.
You see, guys, it's funny because he's a werewolf. It's
everyone gasps.
He's a werewolf?
All right. They throw up a technical difficulties screen real quick. Yeah. All right. While we wait to go back online, go ahead and prep us for the last one.
All right. So, with the best role players, we also have the best tacticians. So, the people who maybe not the best at talking, but they get really good at fighting. So they always pick the fight option, no diplomacy option on those encounters. You can always rely on them to metagame your own character better than you ever could. So, without further ado, we have Afra from Saltmarsh Sun, Skull from Saltmarsh Moon, and also Thogram again from Saltmarsh Moon.
All right. Okay, so both of these games took place on Sundays, and yeah, to say that they were easily the two most tactical groups is an understatement. My Thursday Pirates, in their own words, Saturday, said that they often come up with plans, but those plans don't usually go the way they think they will. My Monday group was tricked into thinking that they were joining a fun roleplay campaign with no difficult fights at all, so none of them are optimized for fighting as well as they should be, and they just sort of trust that maybe they'll live to the end of the campaign. But my Sunday games, from the beginning, they were both highly tactical. I think it was the house that crawled that really showed them this little sandbox ain't fucking around. I would also honorable mention Jetta the Generous. So there were two tacticians in both groups that, man, I had to stretch. I had to dig deep to come up with anything that could challenge these people because their brains were big and their tactics were strong. In Saltmarsh Moon, Skull was sort of the ongoing party tactician of reminding people, like, this is what you could do, this is what we could do together. Everybody needs to make sure they have their equipment. Everybody needs to make sure they have their potions. Everybody needs to make sure that they're using their action coming to their fullest. There were fights that if one line had been skipped, many people could have died. There were a couple of very close calls. His attention to detail definitely kept a lot of people alive. Supporting that in a different way, Thogram was good at the plans on a per encounter basis. The crowning achievement was, of course, combining with Pharos' idea of bamboozling the Sahaugan and their leaders into walking essentially into a Macaulay Culkin Home Alone trapped island of endless booby traps and just terribly unfair and amazing spellcasting and combat. Yeah, it was awesome. We'll leave out the part where he got killed in that fight. In the mornings, the Sun Group, in the beginning, these two murderous women were sort of just learning the ropes of being villainesses. There was a certain murder that transpired that almost cost them everything. But once that was swept under the rug, they both began to shine as tacticians and villains. Afra, however, took the cake when she managed to bamboozle her way into a Sahaugan fortress full of thousands of Sahaugan, convinced them that she had come to lend them aid, was brought before the Baron of all Barons in a very small room that was literally packed from floor to ceiling with bad guys that any roll of the initiative dice would have more than likely resulted in everyone's death. She managed to not only bamboozle, but betray her merfolk allies, handing them over to the Sahaugans to further cement her lies. The act of betrayal was so profound that everyone, the other party members and the DM, were shook to their core. So, yes, all incredible tacticians, schemers, plotters, and planners. So, Pharos, who was the tactician of 2020?
All right. Best tactician of 2020 is, without further ado, Skull from Saltmarsh Moon. Get on up here, big guy.
Come on, Thogram.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I love to.
All right.
You like accepting awards.
Okay. You and Thogram take the stage. All right. What do you got for us? Words of tactical wisdom.
Everyone, read their character sheets.
As you say that, all of the Skull and Shackles characters and NPCs look at Captain Bubbles Jr. I don't know what that was about. So keep going.
Thank you for this award. I could have done it without Thogram picking me up every single time I fell. And we won't tell anyone about that one time that he fell. Theros?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really sorry I killed you that one time.
Aww.
That would touch me where my heart would be, but another time. All right, so that's all you guys gotta say for the best tactician and best role player. There's a special prize for you. You guys are gonna get a gift certificate to Tearjerker to make your own mini. I just want to announce that to everybody so I don't forget. And so you'll get the other awards plus that. And so let's keep this up for next year.
All
Round
right.
of applause for everybody.
Nice.
All right. So meeting adjourned. Unless anyone else has anything to say.
I think we should all give a round of applause to our dungeon master who made it all possible.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, this goes out to Crash and everything he's been able to work on this whole year. He's gone through a lot.
Thanks. As I said, I consider myself super lucky to have such incredible players. Growing up a military kid, I did not get to finish most of the campaigns that I started or played in because I'd have to move. So it has been an absolute privilege and honor to tell all of these stories with you guys from start to finish. I really appreciate your support and your trust that I'm gonna take you guys through a memorable story. So thanks everybody. So, all right. Are we good, Pharos?
I think we're good. I think that's everybody.
All right. Well, thank you everybody that could attend in person /chat. We'll go ahead and get the video spliced together and up onto the YouTubes at some point. And thank you to all the NPCs and PCs who were able to transdimensionally attend, both from beyond the grave and from their unique crystal spheres and demiplanes. So, all right, we're done.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can end the stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it, bro.